Hello everyone, welcome back to us. We will discuss the 7 best 2022 PC RPG game recommendations for you this time. Role-playing game, in the abbreviation of RPG itself, is one of most gamers' most popular game genres. Because the walkthrough system presented in it has an open-world concept. Playing this game takes a long time to complete. RPG games are usually related to the story, and the style of role-playing follows the story of a person or group of people in the game world. Without the need to linger to make you curious about what RPG 2022 PC games are, let's watch this video until it's finished. Before going into the discussion, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss our latest videos. Diablo III. This game tells the story after 20 years after Diablo II's events. Players can choose to play in one of 7 character classes in the game: Barbarian, Crusader, Demon Hunter, Monk, Necromancer, Witch Doctor, or Wizard. Players are tasked with defeating the Lord of Terror, Diablo, as in previous games in the series. This game has a pretty good adventure to play, even after many years. Blizzard Entertainment developed this game as the 3rd installment in the Diablo franchise. Even with the visual downgrade, the animations and hand-painted backgrounds still have stunning clarity. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Skyrim is set 200 years after the events of the Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion, although it is not a direct sequel to the game. Skyrim is located in the cold and mountainous northern continent known as Tamriel. This game has created a world in all aspects that are consistent to make RPG game connoisseurs quite proud of it. Players can also find mythologies, folklore, or lore that are very complicated in the Tamriel region. The game's story centers on the player becoming a hero known as Dragonborn, where Dragonborn is a dragon slayer who appears to free the world from the destruction caused by dragons. In this game, players can create characters according to their wishes from gender, skin color, face shape, and more. You can even choose one of the 10 races available in this game. Skyrim is also a medieval-themed RPG game where players can play it in FPS or TPS form, making players feel closer to the battle. Fallout: New Vegas. Fallout: New Vegas is a spin-off of the main Fallout series. Set in a post-apocalyptic setting in an open world, spanning a region comprising parts of Arizona, California, and Nevada. The main story of New Vegas takes place in 2281, 4 years after the events of Fallout 3 and 204 years after the bombs dropped. This is not a direct sequel but does feature the return of some of the elements found in Fallout 2. The Fallout series is one of the oldest RPG games, and Fallout New Vegas use a game engine similar to Fallout 3. Players can also discover new areas to explore. New Vegas is an RPG game known as FPS and TPS. Although it looks like an ordinary shooter, the game system relies on statistical calculations like an RPG. At the beginning of the game, players will be taken to character creation, which is a little different from other RPG games. In character creation, this game combines them more into the original story. Wasteland 3. Wasteland 3 is a squad-based role-playing video game featuring turn-based combat. In the game, the player must make various choices that will impact the game world and the story differently. Wasteland 3 also includes vehicles players can use to traverse the globe and store supplies. In this game, the storyline is prioritized to make RPG lovers who are concerned with the storyline more suitable to play this game. In addition, the combat system using a turn-based and isometric system makes this game overall very satisfying. Plus, the players can feel the quality of the display and audio that managed to bring the feel of the world of Wasteland 3. Cyberpunk 2077. Set in a large American city in Northern California called Night City. This area is controlled by large companies and cannot be disturbed by state law. The game begins by selecting one of three life paths for the player character: V, Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpu. The three paths involve V starting a new life in Night City with local thug Jackie Wells and going on various adventures with a netrunner. This game presents a theme and graphics that are so stunning that it looks different from other open-world games. It seems that Night City is not the only location in the game. Players can also visit several cities with different themes, such as those that look like slums, the city's central business district, to barren lands ostracized by civilization. In the gameplay, players can improve their mechanical skills and abilities through cyberware, which can be purchased, but unfortunately, it is tough to find throughout the mission. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is set in the Lands Between, a fictional land ruled by several gods. At first, the ground was led by an immortal queen, Marika, and she was tasked with guarding the Elden Ring. But at one point, the queen destroyed the ring and finally disappeared. All his demigod children start fighting over the ring pieces in a show called Annihilation. In the game, the player character is Tarnished, one of a group of exiles from Lands Between who were summoned back after shattering. As one of the Tarnished, players must traverse the world to repair the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. Elden Ring carries an implicit story style, where players get a cutscene at the beginning to introduce the world there. After that, more details of the story and characters are displayed through item and equipment descriptions so that players' knowledge of the world of the Elden Ring depends on how actively the player reads it. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. The game takes place in a fictional fantasy world based on Slavic mythology. Players can control a monster slayer known as the Witcher, and he is named Geralt of Rivia. In the story, he is looking for his adopted daughter who is on the run from another world of poaching. Players will go through many dangers, interact with NPCs, and improve Geralt's abilities. This game has three possible endings that can be determined by the player at essential points in the narrative. Carrying the open world concept, this game has provided an extensive, even more comprehensive game map than the previous Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. This fantasy world is full of monsters and secret places with a lot of treasure. The interactions between characters and NPCs are more lively and systematic, like in the real world. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is an action RPG game that can be almost perfect in every aspect. They start from the graphics, gameplay, and storyline to the characterizations of the characters. Well, how? Interestingly enough, this is not a 2022 PC RPG game. These games have different advantages and disadvantages depending on you and which one suits your game standards. RPG games are never boring to play with graphics and an exciting storyline. If you have a PC 2022 RPG game recommendation that hasn't been mentioned yet, please let me know in the comments column. If you like this video, you can share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you in the following video.